From stuck to unstoppable. Build the mission, map the goals, and live the vision daily. Welcome back to You 3.0. Upgrade your life and unlock your potential. If you watched the prior video, The Hidden Chains Holding You Back, then you learned at least 3 things. 1, you can't find your purpose hiding behind fear. 2, you can't fulfill your mission while doubting your self-worth. And 3, you can't live the life that you want if the vision only stays in your head. Every man faces a crossroads. One path is comfort, the other is calling. One leads to safety, the other to significance. This video will walk you through how we create the bridge between those hidden chains that we are unlocking and severing with building your mission and mapping your goals and starting to live the vision every single day of your life. Let's get into what this looks like. This is the table that helps you identify your purpose and mission. What do you aspire to be? What's your best future self? What's your aspirational self? If you wave your magic wand between now and the end of your life, what kind of a life will you have led? How did you impact others? What did you achieve? What kind of a difference did you make in the world? So you're trying to figure out your purpose and your mission in a bigger than today's context. It's really about, over the course of your life, how did you make a difference in the world? How does the world know that you were here? In the Lifestyle Operating System, we have a lot more help and guidance for you to define your mission and purpose, but that gives you a high-level idea. What values are you going to live your life by? Values could be things like honesty, integrity, authenticity, courage, discipline, whatever. What do you really want to do in life? Again, this is one of those, if you could wave your magic wand, what would you really be doing? I know what you're doing now, but what would you really want to do if you could? What are your passions? By the way, your passions and what you really want to do in life and your mission and purpose are often tightly intertwined. What gives you boundless joy? Again, another good signal of where your purpose and mission might be. What are you great at? Another great signal. If you can find things that you're great at that gives you boundless joy and it's a passion of yours, it's probably very closely tied to what your mission and purpose here is in life. What do you dread doing? What makes you unique and special? And what kind of lifestyle do you want? Again, there's more information detailed in the operating system plan. But what you'll typically find when you go through this process is that your purpose is already inside of you. You don't need to invent it, you just need to uncover it. So when you work through this table, write down your answers, then step away from it and come back 2 or 3 times over a couple of weeks. It's also a great best practice to share this with a life coach or confidant to get their perspective. All right, let's go to the next stage. From vision to victory, going from SMART goals, which will be at a high level in writing, to a SMART life. In case you're unaware, SMART goals stand for specific, S, measurable, M, A, attainable, relevant, R, T, time-bound. So specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-bound. In the Lifestyle Operating System plan, I give some examples on how to create a SMART goal. But essentially what we're trying to do is this. On the prior table, we figured out your why, your purpose and your mission and your passion, the things you love, the things you're great at. But now how do you operationalize it? Well, that's where this comes in. We're going to turn purpose and progress into mission and movement. And SMART goals help create that compelling event, that measurable momentum. Your mission means nothing if it doesn't move. The difference between a dream and a goal is a deadline. Ralph Waldo Emerson has an interesting perspective on this. He said, the only person you are destined to become is the person you decide to be. So leverage SMART goals as a way to take your purpose and mission and do something about it every single day. When you do the SMART goals, set each goal as a positive statement. Try to be precise with dates, times, and amounts if necessary or required. Set priorities. So if you have several goals, you can't do them all at once. So what's your most important priority? What's number 2? What's number 3? Lastly, try to set performance goals, not outcome goals, because you can't always control the outcome, but you can control what you put into it and how you perform. So this table now helps you put all that together. You see the 5 F's on the left. So each one of those, faith, family, fitness, financial fulfillment, you might have 1 or 2 SMART goals, and you'll write those down. You're going to do this over a couple of different iterations. And then you're going to brainstorm, are there obstacles preventing you from reaching that goal? And if so, third column is what's your strategy to overcome them? The fourth column is really asking you an interesting question. Is there any scenario where you'd give up on that goal? Because if there is a scenario where you might give up, maybe it shouldn't be a goal. And then lastly, if there's something you need to learn to achieve that goal, that's what the fifth column is all about. So the way you operate on this table is brainstorm the top 1 or 2 goals, each one of those 5 F's. Think about potential obstacles and how you might overcome them. Make sure it's really a goal. And then if there's anything you need to specifically learn, that's what you write down there. So let's assume you've done this over 2 or 3 iterations, maybe over a week or 2, and you've reviewed those with your life coach or close friend, confidant, or partner. The next thing that we're going to do is make sure that you are rewiring and reframing these goals into positive affirmations. In the actual lifestyle plan itself, there's over 50 positive affirmations that you can choose from if you're struggling with coming up with some. The important thing here is that even though in the earlier videos we talked about severing those elephant ropes that keep you tied down and condition you to believe that something is unreal, we want to break those chains. We want to make sure that you are reframing and rewiring everything you're doing to the positive. So this is a great step. For each one of your SMART goals, write down 2 or 3 positive affirmations that'll help you think about it in a positive, energy, enthusiastic manner. I know it sounds easy, but a lot of times people get to this step and they're still tethered by those old elephant ropes. So this is a way to make sure you break them. Every time you start to write a positive affirmation, some inner voice or limiting belief may pop up and say or ask you, you can't do that, you aren't good enough, you should not even try, what if you fail, what if you look foolish, what if you embarrass yourself, hey, no one in the family has ever achieved that. Those are all elephant ropes, okay? So again, be aware, this purpose of this table is to make sure you've truly severed the elephant ropes and you're rewiring and reframing these goals into positive affirmations. All right, moving on. The next step is a very important one because goals are nice, but how do you achieve those goals? You'll find that every goal typically requires 2, 3, 4, some number of steps to achieve it. Here with these action steps, we're going to convert future goals into an unstoppable series of 1 perfect days. This is where you make the transition from the high level, purpose, mission, and SMART goals into real world, tangible daily action steps and habits that will get locked into your calendar to all but guarantee your success. And we'll talk about how to do that in the 3rd video. But for now, what I want you to do is break down each goal into 3 to 5 action steps where you believe you need to do in order to make that goal a reality. Think about transforming wasted hours just looking at goals and trying to figure out what to do to warrior hours where you're being productive and you're battling every day to move the needle, to move closer to your goal, to get an action item done, to learn a new skill. Successful people do what unsuccessful people are not willing to do. Don't wish it were easier, wish you were better. That's from author Jim Rohn. And action steps to achieve each goal in priority order are how you do this. Again, many people want the prize. They want to be successful, but they don't break their success requirements. They don't break their purpose and mission down into SMART goals, and they don't break those goals into action steps to achieve those goals. So they look back after a day, week, month, or a year, and they realize they made no progress. This is how you prevent that from happening. Again, I provide a very detailed example of how to do a SMART goal and how to do action steps in the U 3.0 Lifestyle Operating System Guide that you can download. All right, let's wrap up this instructional video from Stuck to Unstoppable, building the mission, mapping the goals, and living the vision. You can see now how you can move from being stuck to becoming unstoppable, from moving from fear to freedom, from vision to victory, and from excuses to execution. This is how you live the U 3.0 lifestyle. 1 purpose, 1 mission, 1 perfect day at a time. Speaking of 1 perfect day, make sure you watch the last instructional video entitled The Warrior's Daily Operating System, 6 Steps to Daily Clarity, Power, and Purpose next. This is how the 1% elite achievers think about time, priorities, setting boundaries, and managing their day. Please like and subscribe if this video is providing value add to you and or other people that you may know in your life. Thank you for your time. We'll see you in the next video.